Hello, and welcome to the second installment of my Asian American Spotlight. Now, this week I want to put the spotlight on a podcast, and that would be the Bruce Lee podcast. Now, Bruce Lee is the most recognizable Asian American in history. In fact, he's probably one of the most recognizable people, period. Um, Check it out. I got a DJ Bruce shirt. If you didn't know who he was, you probably still recognize him. Now, Bruce Lee was not a DJ that came after, but he was a lot of things. For all of you Asian American actors out there, Bruce Lee is going through the same. Well, he went through the same struggles that we're going through today, except 50 years ago. So think about how hard it is for you now. I mean, I can't even imagine how difficult it might have seemed back then, but somehow he figured it out. He made it. And for that reason, he's a cultural icon. He's a global brand now. He's a pioneer, a visionary. He's so many things. And that's what this podcast is all about. Now, this podcast is run by his daughter, Shannon Lee, and a friend and coworker, Sharon Lee, who just happens to share the same last name. But it's about Bruce Lee and his teachings. And that's the part of Bruce Lee that we don't often think about. When you think about Bruce Lee, usually you think about his movies or the fact that he's a martial artist, but he was so much more than that. And the part of Bruce Lee that made him Bruce Lee was how he thought, the way he saw the world, the way he saw people. And he was a big philosopher. Now, I recently had the pleasure of meeting Shannon Lee, and she is one of the sweetest people I have ever met, and she was gracious enough to show me Bruce Lee archives. And so Bruce Lee wrote a lot, he read a lot, and there's this whole library of just his thoughts that he wrote down, and like theories, philosophies. And so every week on this podcast, they go through a different Bruce Lee teaching or quote or something, and they just kind of dissect it, and they talk about how you can bring that into your life. And it's just wonderful. Apart from that, they also do a segment that's exactly like what I'm trying to do here. So of course I would support this because I'm trying to do the exact same thing. But they have a segment called Awesome Asians and Hapas. Hapa being the Hawaiian word for half, because they have a lot of mixed people there. But yeah, that's really cool, because so every week they would like to put the spotlight on someone else, because this was something that Bruce really believed in, because again, he went through the same struggles, just in an infinitely more difficult time. But yeah, that's it. It's a podcast. You can find it on iTunes. Just type in Bruce Lee podcast. Please subscribe. What else? I'll put some links on the Bruce Lee Enterprise, Bruce Lee Foundation. They promote a lot of motivational, inspirational things, which I really enjoy. And yeah, that's it for this week. I want to thank everyone for watching last week's video. I wasn't sure what reception I would get, and honestly, it was way better than I could have hoped for. Reading your comments and just hearing everyone's thoughts and stuff, and I know it made me want to do more. One, I didn't realize how many projects and how many people and how many endeavors there were to highlight that I want to. I don't know, there's just so much more than I had originally thought. So, I mean, I definitely have the content to keep this going. So I want to do this. And once again, I want to thank you for helping me. So if you enjoyed this and you want to see more, please, do the like, share, comment thing, and subscribe to the Bruce Lee podcast. Also, if you really like this shirt, I think they sell this shirt on their website. Yeah, that's it. I am terrible at signing off, so I'll see you next week.